you picked a color, the deals are here. Randy Marion Ford Lincoln, right here in Statesville, I-77, exit 49B.
The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
Good morning, Lake Norman. This is Cornelius, Mayor Woody Washam, and we have a great show about town today. We've done some traveling on this show, but, for some reason, we've never traveled down the road of the Cornelius Youth Orchestra. And boy, what a budding organization in our community that has come so far so quickly and, has some great opportunities for the future. And you're going to hear all about that today. And we've got the people here that can tell you about it. And that would include Mr. Eric Boruff, who is the executive director and the orchestra director, and also Mr. Alex Wilborn, who is part of the artistic faculty. And I can't wait for you to hear about that faculty. It is absolutely impressive and such a great opportunity for the kids of the Lake Norman region to expand their musical knowledge and have access to good training. As a would-be musician many years ago, growing up in Cornelius, these opportunities weren't there for me and my peers and so forth in our community. And it was too bad. Fortunately, my parents had the wherewithal to provide music lessons for me, and that was wonderful. But there are plenty of families here that don't have the ability to provide that, and in addition to that, the quality that they get through the Cornelius Youth Orchestra is truly incredible. So, Eric, welcome.
Thank you for having us here today, Mayor
Telling you,
Washam.
it's always exciting to tell your story. And Alex, thank you for coming as well. So I believe you were, tell me your role in the Charlotte Symphony.
Yeah, so I am fortunate enough to serve as the principal trumpet, which means anytime you hear some high trumpet, you're definitely going to hear me. I've been serving in that position since the fall of 2018, and I've been very fortunate to be there.
And he is incredible. I've heard him play solo versions, and just truly one of the incredible trumpeters of in the whole entire Eastern Seaboard, if you will. So, Eric, let me turn to you and just provide us a little story. What is the story of the Cornelius Youth Orchestra? How did it come about? Why did it come about? And how did we get to where we are today?
Man, you're just starting with a big one.
I'm telling you, it's a big one. It sounds like
How
a
much
long
time do
story.
we have? Yeah.
Take us to the break if you like. No problem.
No, we are with the Cornelius Youth Orchestras. We're a community nonprofit youth orchestra that was founded in 2006. I assumed my position as the executive director at the end of 2018, beginning of 2019. And our goal is to provide music education to our Lake Norman youth and also performing opportunities. And what we've seen since coming out of COVID, one of the first things that happened in my role here was COVID. And so essentially we ended up just taking a break, but we got a fresh start coming out of COVID, and we started with 25 kids. And we've been able to see the organization grow exponentially, literally, in the last several years. But our goal is to provide these opportunities for our community youth. And right now, we are so thrilled to have the opportunity to do so in an increasing capacity. One of the things that has really been exciting the last several years is, in addition to providing an audition to performing ensemble opportunity for kids who already know how to play and maybe have experience and already have the buy-in and the interest and maybe their school band or orchestra programs, we're happy to have our orchestra, which is a higher level that they can participate in. But in addition, we've started a whole wing of educational programming for kids that haven't had that opportunity. And maybe, the school system around here, we don't do instrument-specific education in elementary. That normally comes a little bit later, just a funding thing and resources. But our goal is to fill that need. There's no reason why a kid should wait till 6th grade to start playing an instrument. We can get them started a lot younger than that. And so that's what we're here to do. And we've really been blown away by the response we've seen from the community to some of those classes. And it's been really incredible to watch some of these kids go from no experience on the instrument, learning how to pick it up for the first time, to playing and making good sound, and that whole developmental journey that can be exciting and noisy, and then all the way onto stage, where now they can have a step. We like to call it a pathway of advancement, so we can get the kids started with no experience, and then we have an additional program for them to graduate into where they can now go and perform with the group on stage and kind of spread their wings a little bit. And so it's been really great to see some of these kids start to matriculate up. And again, we're still a really young organization with all of this programming and stuff. So a lot of these things will really start to blossom in time, which we're excited about.
Oh, that's awesome. And you're I guess providing our region with great musicians.
Yes.
Which, as a church organist out there, one of my many jobs, if I have to run around and look for a substitute, if I'm taking a trip or whatever, really hard to find.
Yep.
So you're supplementing that at least in the orchestra arena.
That's correct.
So Alex, tell me a little bit about your background and how you got this momentous job with the Charlotte Symphony. How long have you been at it? Where are you from anyway?
So yeah, I'm from technically Cookeville, Tennessee. I went to school in Baxter, Tennessee, which is a very small town right north of I-40 in Putnam County. Yeah, so I started band in 5th grade. I actually joined a couple weeks late. They put me in choir. I went to the guidance counselor and was like, please, is there anything else? And she was like, yeah, the only thing left is band. And I was like, I don't even know what that is. Put me in there. I don't care. Sure. So I walk in, and funny enough, I walk in probably 5 minutes after this other student who was a redhead kid. And there were 2 instruments left. There was a euphonium and a trumpet. And so because he was there first, he got first dibs. So he played both and all that, and ultimately was like, okay, I think I want to play euphonium. So my band director, who ended up being my band director all through high school as well, Mr. Colin Netherton, he gave me a trumpet and has a trumpet player himself and was like, okay, here's how you create your atmosphere, here's all the stuff, try to make a sound. Lo and behold, I got a note to come out. And he was like, great, you're a trumpet player, go sit at the bottom of the section. Now, I'm sure it wasn't as intense as that, but that was as I recalled. And so I just did it for fun for a while. I didn't really think anything of it. But at the end of my 7th grade year, my mom was basically like, we need to get him in lessons. And so she reached out to Charlie Decker, who was the trumpet professor at Tennessee Tech University, who was like, sure, I'll take him on. And fortunate enough, I studied with him all through high school. And then, once I finished there, I went to Tennessee Tech for my undergrad, studied with him, spent 5 years there, then went to Juilliard, and I spent a year there. And then my first year, I went as a master's student, but in my first year is when this audition came up, and I got the job. So I left Juilliard, and I've been here ever since.
Wow, what a story and what a background. That is absolutely incredible. I want Eric to tell your story too, because it's pretty amazing as well. But the level of instructors that the Cornelius Youth Orchestra is able to draw is just an incredible piece of their story, and certainly it indicates the quality of music that they provide. So this is Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam, and we'll be right back with the Cornelius Youth Orchestra.
Be a part of the conversation.
We can't fix America's debt by starving its people.
Have your say.
One shooting after another, and we're doing nothing to solve it?
This is WSIC. News Talk Now.
What would the first day of summer be like without some 90-degree heat? Now, summer officially starts this afternoon at 4:50. If we're being technical about it. Otherwise, plenty of heat and still no decent shot at rain. Near 90 this afternoon, staying mild with mostly clear sky tonight. Temperatures falling back into the upper 60s to near 70. Low 90s on the way for our Friday. Mid-90s for the weekend, feeling more like 100 degrees. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
The WSIC app is available now wherever you get your apps, featuring local deals from great local businesses like ISI Denver.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Langtree Live gets your weekend off to an early start on Thursday night with a Kids in America concert. This totally 80s tribute band will get you up and dancing. Event time is 6:30 p.m. with the concert beginning at 7. We will see you and your chairs Thursday, June 20th at Langtree, Lake Norman. Friday night at RevFast in Mooresville is the monthly Hot Rods and Hops car show. Cool cars, motorcycles, and trucks will be on display. LKN Mobile Eats and Hot Town Brewing will be on hand with smash burgers and cold brews. Join us Friday after 5 p.m. at the Late Apex Storage Condos in Mooresville for Hot Rods and Hops. Brookdale's Live Under the Oaks concert series continues on Friday. The Ryan Bumgardner solo musical performance begins at 6 p.m. Kick back and relax on the green in front of the stage at Brookdale Village in Huntersville for the free Ryan Bumgardner concert Friday night. The annual Symphony in the Park is back this Saturday in Cornelius. Bailey Road Park welcomes the Charlotte Symphony and fireworks. Bring your chairs and blankets to enjoy this free, family-friendly show. The Symphony in the Park program and fireworks celebration begins at 6 p.m. Saturday at Bailey Road Park in Cornelius. The Kane Center for the Arts Week 3 of summer camps begins Monday, June 24th. Morning and afternoon camps for ages 5 to 17 include art, ceramics, paint, and clay. For more information on summer camp programs, visit canearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. The Cookout Summer Shootout Series is racing ahead at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The 10-race series night number 4 is on Tuesday, June 25th. Visit charlottemotorspeedway.com for tickets, details, and information. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
Now, more About Town with Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
And we're back. Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam here, and we've got a great subject today with some great folks to tell you about the Cornelius Youth Orchestra. And we're just telling the stories about these great folks that head up this organization and run it and provide this great training to our students in the region. So, Eric Boruff, you've been executive director since 2018.
Yep.
So, what brought you here? You with the Symphony as well?
No, I'm not. I moved out here for family.
Okay.
I was my family moved out here in the Charlotte region. Ended up coming from the San Francisco Bay Area.
Wow.
Was looking at options, after school, and it's like, well, let's go by near family. You can't go wrong with that, and just decided to plant roots here, and the rest is kind of the journey has been an awesome one. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. So where'd you go to school?
So I started at a private school growing up, and I was really fortunate to have some really great opportunities there. Actually, my journey with the violin was because of this really odd circumstance. We were just talking off air about Alex's start. My first violin was actually salvaged from a dumpster.
Really?
Whoa.
Yeah. So I was in 4th grade, and I had wanted to play violin since kindergarten. Not for any noble reason, of course, but at my school, they had a strings class, and you got to be out of class for an hour if you went to the violin class, and I had to do extra homework. And so I was like, I don't want to do this homework. But I think my parents were the wiser for it, and so they knew what I was really trying to accomplish, and so they kept me in school. But all that to say, it created this drive of like, I want to learn this instrument. And we were leaving school. It was the end of the school year, 4th grade, and a school administrator was cleaning out the lost and found, and they were just, it's time to throw everything in the dumpster. And she saw me going out to the car line. She said, wait a second, I think that kid wanted to play the violin. We just threw one away. And so she told a kid to go fetch it out of the dumpster. And so I showed up in the car line and said, here you go, Mom. This is here we are. And that's how I got my start on the violin. And so I it took a little bit of time to convince my parents that I was actually interested in it. It wasn't a passing, thing, but was able to jump right in. And I was fortunate enough to have some really good teachers along the way. After the first couple years of just kind of the beginning stage of learning the instrument, I was able to study it from a professor at Stanford right there in the Bay Area, and really began to blossom under her instruction. And then after that, I was able to study with a violinist named Ming-Shu Yo, and he's from Taiwan, and went to Boston for school, Boston Conservatory, and he's a fantastic musician. But I was fortunate enough to have some really great opportunities, and starting at a really young age, which is one of the reasons why I'm really passionate about what we do. I was one of my first loves was composition. So I starting in 6th grade, I really wanted to learn more about that, and was fortunate enough to get some instruction there. And my school, just a series of events, needed an orchestra teacher. They lost theirs, and so when I was in high school, they actually let me teach orchestra. And I mean, it wasn't anything special, but it was a great opportunity for me to start to kind of spread my wings and develop from that perspective. And I had some great, mentors that I was able to go to and help me along that journey. And with my background with composition, I was able to write some of the stuff that the group was able to play and things like that. So I just had a lot of opportunity. A lot of people believed in me and said yes. And I don't think it's because I was anything special. I think it's just because I had tools and opportunity available to me. And I think that it's one of the reasons why I'm passionate about what we do, because we can give those same opportunities to kids here in Lake Norman, and they can become the next orchestra director or the next violinist or the next trumpet player or all of the above.
Well, what a passion. And, to actually instill that into our youth is just incredible. I mean, it really is an incredible opportunity. So, tell us a little bit about your other instructors that just give us some samples and whet the appetite out there of what you guys have to offer.
Absolutely. If you don't mind, we'll tag team.
Okay.
I'll talk about the woodwinds and strings, and if you want to take the brass, that'll be awesome. So we have primarily our faculty comes from the Charlotte Symphony, and again, just a fantastic group of musicians, and we're just so grateful that they're willing to come up here and work with our kids. What an incredible opportunity. I say this at different places, but it would be like having the players from the Atlanta Braves come and work with our kids in T-ball and Little League. I mean, this is an incredible opportunity. But we have Sam Sparrow and Nick Ritter, who work with our woodwinds. They're both fantastic musicians. And again, both of them in the Charlotte Symphony. Sam is a clarinetist. Has that in common with you, Mayor Washam?
Oh, I'm telling you.
Maybe you and Sam need to play a duet.
Maybe I need some lessons.
Hey, classes start in September. And then Nick plays the bassoon and the contrabassoon, which is, I don't know if you're familiar, but it's this massive instrument, and it's the lowest of the woodwind instrument. And it's the kind of instrument that just rattles the room. It's fascinating to listen to. But they're both fantastic musicians and great with the kids. On the string side, Julia Farova works with our beginning violins, and also will be directing our brand new intermediate strings orchestra that we're starting this fall, Sinfonia Strings. And then Jen Bassett is a fantastic cellist as well. She went to New England Conservatory Prep and also a couple other schools, Indiana School of Music, Jacob School of Music, sorry. She's a cellist. She subs with the symphony at times. She teaches actually orchestra up here at Pine Lake, and she's done a fantastic job with that program. She took over that job, and that program was, very small. Now I think they have 300 kids in orchestra. Wow. I mean, she's a fantastic cellist and educator, and so we're lucky to have them on the string side. But I'll let Alex talk about the brass side, because he's he works with them on a regular basis.
Yeah, I do. I'm very fortunate for that.
Yeah, can't wait.
So our brass faculty for the Cornelius Youth Orchestras consists of 3 of us. We have Mr. Thomas Burge, who is our second trombonist in the orchestra. We also have Andrew Furova, which they figured out is married to Julia, and he is our second horn in the orchestra, and he's more or less the kind of our fearless leader in terms of the brass side of things. And the great musicians. One really interesting through line between the 3 of us is that we were all at one point in time students at Juilliard. Not at the same time. I'm the youngest of the three of us. So, but yes, we all have that connection and stories and that kind of stuff. So it's really special to have one relationship with them at work, with, how brass sections are set up in an orchestra, and then being able to come up here and work with some really talented and motivated young students, whether it be with the brass ensemble or our respective brass challenges. So they're I think we make a pretty good team.
And for the listeners who aren't familiar, the challenge moniker is actually what we call our beginning programs. So the programs that require no experience. So we have brass challenge, woodwind challenge. One of the things I can't believe Stephanie, I did not forget you. I'm going to say that. We are starting a percussion class in programming this fall, and we are excited to bring Stephanie Wilson, who is also on our artistic faculty, our newest member of our artistic faculty, and she is the brightest personality in the room. She's just electric, just fantastic musician, and she is going to connect so well with the kids. She is everything you would want in an educator. So really looking forward to having her interact with our kids here in the Lake Norman area. I actually did a little podcast with her, just kind of introducing her to our students. And if anybody wants to check that out, you can view that on our website.
Yeah, we're going to talk about your website in just a minute. So do you are you involved with keyboard activities?
Keyboard activities, that sounds a little nefarious.
It does. It does.
Well,
clean it up.
In the town of Cornelius, we're fortunate enough to have this mayor that he takes care of that for us. No,
I don't teach, though. I don't do well at teaching. Ask my kids. They will tell you I don't teach.
Oh, my. Well, we haven't gotten quite that far just yet. The keyboard in an orchestra falls underneath the percussion section. And so that'll end up being a part of that program, which we're just getting started this fall. So we're starting, I think, 4 new classes and programs this fall, in addition to our existing, I think, 11. So we're growing.
That's exciting. And I really encourage you to do that, because I need substitutes. So I can go on more vacations. I really need substitutes.
Hawaii is calling.
Yes, it is. So we need to fill that gap. Absolutely, we do. So I think any church organist or musician that plays keyboard in this whole entire probably state, but certainly in this area, will tell you that there's a shortage.
Yes.
And probably a shortage in everything, but certainly in the keyboard sector. So, I was one of those folks that didn't have a choice, because I woke up at 4 years old and I could go to church and play by ear.
Yeah.
So, that was the indication of my parents that I might have a little something going on. But,
Sure.
But then that made me special to be able to combine being able to play by ear with learning to read music. So, maybe some of the notes that I play aren't really on the page, but maybe they are. You never know.
They're special interpretation.
They are.
It makes every performance unique.
That is exactly right, and it gives a whole new definition to playing hymns in church.
That's right.
It really does.
That's right.
It really does. So when we come back after our next break, we're going to talk about the business part of the Cornelius Youth Orchestra, because
let's do it.
As we all know, anything this good, or anything in government or what you guys do, it's just not free. Mm-hmm. You've got to make it come together, and the funding opportunities and the ability and opportunity for folks to support you is important. So we'll be talking about that coming up in the next segment. Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam with the Cornelius Youth Orchestra. We'll be right back.
Be a part of the conversation.
I listen on the way to work.
Have your say.
It's more than just opinions, it's facts.
This is WSIC News Talk Now.
Well, what would the first day of summer be like without some 90-degree heat? Now, summer officially starts this afternoon at 4:50. If we're being technical about it. Otherwise, plenty of heat and still no decent shot at rain. Near 90 this afternoon, staying mild with a mostly clear sky tonight. Temperatures falling back into the upper 60s to near 70. Low 90s on the way for our Friday. Mid 90s for the weekend, feeling more like 100 degrees. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Quality Car Care is your local Toyota specialist and a licensed NC inspection station. Plus, find a huge selection of quality pre-owned cars at QualityCarCareStatesville.com or call 704-871-2535.
We used to argue about whose turn it was to clean the gutters, but then I had leaf filter gutter protection installed.
Wait, I told you Leaf Filter had free inspections and estimates and a lifetime guarantee.
Meaning we never have to argue about whose turn it is to clean the gutters again.
But I visited leaffilter.com/beacon first.
No, I did.
It doesn't matter who. Visit leaffilter.com/beacon to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off today.
See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit NoTimeToWait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
The school year may have ended, but WSIC's Teacher of the Month contest is still in session. Head to WSICnews.com to vote for your favorite teacher. Winners receive prizes from Nina's Boutique and Brighter Smiles.
The NASCAR Cup Series heads to New England for the USA Today 301 from New Hampshire. Coverage starts at 1:30 on your home for NASCAR, WSIC.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Stock and biotech company Gilead Sciences is jumping 4% today following what could be a dramatic advance in the fight against HIV. Testing of Gilead's experimental twice-yearly shot shows it prevented 100% of HIV cases in women and adolescent girls in Africa. The company hopes its new shot will provide an easier-to-use option compared to other prevention drugs that are either daily pills or must be injected every 2 months. HIV still newly infects 1.3 million people every year. MGM Resorts plans to let gamblers let it ride online. The casino operator will offer online betting with live dealers based at 2 of its Las Vegas resorts. Marketed as MGM Live, the dealers will be located on the regular gambling floors at the Bellagio and MGM Grand and administer games such as roulette and baccarat for customers of online betting providers outside the U.S. Stock index is splitting it. Dow gaining almost 0.25%. S&P up 10th. NASDAQ little changed. Andrew O'Day, Bloomberg Radio.
About Town continues now. Here's your host, Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam on 105.9 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
And we're back. Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam here, and we're talking about an exciting topic today, the Cornelius Youth Orchestra, a budding organization in our community that is doing and will do greater things even down the road. As we were saying before the break, Eric and Alex, you know, when we move forward with such great opportunities for our kids like this, it isn't free, and you have to figure out a way to pay for good programming like that. And, you know, of course, Town of Cornelius has been a partner with you. We're so glad and honored that you took our name. That's just wonderful. It really, really is. And I'm very proud of that. But we fund you a little bit.
Yeah.
You were a recipient of one of our town grants this year. We don't have a lot of money for grants, but you got one. That's a start. It absolutely is. So, from a business standpoint, how do you pull all this together? I know you fundraise and things like that, but tell us how that's going for you.
Well, you know, we're heading in the right direction, but we couldn't do it without a few important factors. Number one, I have to just thank all of the people, the army of volunteers that make what we do possible. Our entire admin team is volunteer, and they're working 40-hour plus weeks to make all of this happen for our kids, and I can't sing their praises enough. Kristen Pecoraro, she's a fantastic coordinator. She's kind of just like the head of operations on that side, just making our programs, the scheduling, the venues, the concerts. We have so many performing ensembles now. You maybe not thinking, looking at what we do from just like from a bystander of like how much coordination goes into all of that.
Well, just back to your name, you're the Cornelius Youth Orchestras.
That's
with the
right.
S,
That's right. With the S.
I
And
noticed
so
that.
That's right. And so we have lots of ensembles. April Dunn is she's fantastic. She's been with our organization. Her daughter started with our organization when she was, I think, 7 or 8, and she played until now she's in college, pursuing a degree in music, got a full scholarship. But she's been there as well. Kayla Fugit, Jessica Augustine, Amy Woods. We have just an army of people that make this all possible. So we couldn't do it without them. I also would like to thank our supporters. We need our supporters in our community, the individual people who choose to contribute and support what we do. We're incredibly grateful for them, and we've been really fortunate to have seen an increase in that, and it's helped support what we do and increasing the scope so that we can help more kids. Now, if any of the listeners today would like to learn a little bit more about that, you can visit our website. That's www.corneliusyouthorchestras.com. And if you go to just the support page, you can kind of take a look at the information there. We have a variety of ways that people can support us if they want to make a one-time donation. We also have a monthly supporter program where if, you want to just kind of like set it and let it go and support what we do. There's different options there. But we're grateful for the supporters that make this possible. And then of course we're so incredibly grateful for our partners that for in-kind donations and services. And so, like the town of Cornelius with our facilities agreement, we've been able to grow because we've had more space available to us. And so whenever we start a new class, it's not like we're not wondering, is there a space? There is. And so we're grateful for that. And we've had different partners in the community who've helped us. So we just had this groundswell of support from the community that they've just been excited about what we do. And it's awesome to be in the midst of it all. And it's an exciting time for what we're doing with the music and how we're helping our kids in our community.
Right. It's past amazing, really, to me, and such a legacy to be a part of. It really is. So, from an instructor standpoint, Alex, how does that work? How much time do you have to put into this?
Well, so the three of us, we coordinate together. Three of us is in the brass side, myself, Thomas, and Andrew. We've kind of created our own curriculum to kind of the things that we feel that young students should be able to know and play and understand kind of right out the gate. And so obviously that takes a lot of external preparation and making sure that we have our ducks in a row, if you will. But of course, as with many things in life, you always have to be prepared for the unexpected, or expect the unexpected, I guess as the phrase goes. And so there's always a shift every week. It's 90-minute sessions with a tiny little break in between because attention spans only go so long. And so a lot of majority of kind of what we do is just kind of thinking about how best serve the students and how we can get them kind of up to speed, because we have a myriad of students in the sense that some have never played an instrument before. I mean, I've had a fair bit of students who've come to me and said, "Oh, day one of your class is the first day I've ever played an instrument." Even through kids who's like, "Oh, maybe I've played for a year, whatever, and I can buzz a note and I can read some music, whatever." So a lot of the mental work behind the scenes is kind of figuring out how to bring all of that together and make sure that you're not going too fast for the kids who are new, but you're also not going too slow for the kids who may be a bit more advanced and already know that F is first valve and stuff like that.
And I just have to say, it's blown me away how the excitement around what we're doing and what we're trying to accomplish with this programming. They're doing things behind my back. Like I'm trying to keep tabs on things, and I find out they're meeting and scheduling planning meetings and talking about things. I'm like, you guys need to be on the books. Like we have to make sure we take care of this stuff. But they're working overtime to make this happen, and it's been incredible. This is a artist designed program. So when it comes to how our program design is put together, it doesn't come from me. So I'm just assembling the Avengers, I like to say. I'm assembling the team of superheroes. But ultimately, each instructor designs their own program for their own class as it best fits the kids that they serve. So every kid that goes to one of these classes, it's going to be something that's directly for them. This is not a cookie cutter program.
Oh, that's really interesting. So are they one-on-one classes, or do you have groups of kids, or how's that work?
Well, I think it depends. Generally speaking, with the numbers that we have, there are usually multiple kids at one time. What I try to do with my classes is kind of identify early on in the first week or two kind of where everyone is, and then make sure that ability individuals are together. Sometimes things happen where they do get like a one-on-one lesson, and of course the way that you approach that is different than you would approach a group setting of 5 trumpet players, all very eager to play as loud and as high as they can play. So that's always, but I obviously I love that because it's also what I do. So yeah.
But primarily, we are focused on group instruction.
Mm-hmm.
So we have all of our programs. None of them are designed to be private lessons. We are not a private lesson provider, but we do group instruction. Now, we have great partners in our community that take care of private lessons and do all of that stuff.
Sure.
And we work together arm in arm with them to make what we do possible. I could start naming names, but I don't want to forget anybody. But we have great partners in our community that take care of that. So we do group instruction. That's our primary thing. And as we've started these programs, this has all just been in the last, 12, 18 months.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is all very, very new. Some of these programs have had, have had smaller enrollments to begin with. And so we're excited to grow those. But yes, I believe our strings program right now, we're actually having to split it for the fall because it just kind of exceeded capacity with the student teacher ratio. So we're going in the right direction when it comes to numbers, and we're excited about what is in store for this coming season.
Right. One of the things that I've been so impressed with is that you have brought it to the community. You're everywhere with performances. You've done 2 at my church in the last, 6 months.
That's
or less.
right. That's right.
And they were just awesome events that something to really, really be proud of. So not only do you do that for your patrons and folks that are interested in finding out more about you and figuring out what you do and what you're all about, but you're doing it for the kids.
That's right.
To hear. I can remember the 2 that you had at my church were a full orchestra.
That's right.
Concert, and in addition to that, a faculty recital. And that's what blew me away. That was an eye-opening experience. The quality of instructors just came to life for me as far as what you offer. So,
how could you not be blown away hearing Alex play the trumpet?
Well, and you play the violin. I thought this guy can really play. It's just not anything in between high professional performance levels with either one of these guys. They were truly, truly amazing. So, here we are. I hope you'll come back and do that again.
That's the plan. So, we are looking forward to making that a part of what we do. We want to make it to where our students can see their instructors in action and remove barriers to make that possible.
So, you're certainly welcome back at as far as I'm concerned, but you reach out pretty far in the area to Mooresville and to the south.
That's right.
And all over the Lake Norman region, which is I think part of what has sparked the interest in this great organization.
That's right.
So, Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam here talking about the Cornelius Youth Orchestra. We will be right back.
If you have an upcoming event, let WSIC spread the word. Go to WSICnews.com and click on the Community Calendar button. WSIC, proud to be part of your community.
Well, what would the first day of summer be like without some 90-degree heat? Now, summer officially starts this afternoon at 4:50. If we're being technical about it. Otherwise, plenty of heat and still no decent shot at rain. Near 90 this afternoon, staying mild with a mostly clear sky tonight. Temperatures falling back into the upper 60s to near 70. Low 90s on the way for our Friday. Mid 90s for the weekend, feeling more like 100 degrees. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Langtree Lab, get your weekend off to an early start on Thursday night with a Kids in America concert. This totally 80s tribute band will get you up and dancing. Event time is 6:30 p.m. with the concert beginning at 7. We will see you and your chairs Thursday, June 20th at Langtree, Lake Norman. Friday night at Revfast in Mooresville is the monthly Hot Rods and Hops car show. Cool cars, motorcycles, and trucks will be on display. LKN Mobile Eats and Hoptown Brewing will be on hand with smash burgers and cold brews. Join us Friday after 5 p.m. at the Late Apex Storage Condos in Mooresville for Hot Rods and Hops. Birkdale's Live Under the Oaks concert series continues on Friday. The Ryan Bumgarner solo musical performance begins at 6 p.m. Kick back and relax on the green in front of the stage at Birkdale Village in Huntersville for the free Ryan Bumgarner concert Friday night. The annual Symphony in the Park is back this Saturday in Cornelius. Bailey Road Park welcomes the Charlotte Symphony and fireworks. Bring your chairs and blankets to enjoy this free, family-friendly show. The Symphony in the Park program and fireworks celebration begins at 6 p.m. Saturday at Bailey Road Park in Cornelius. The Kane Center for the Arts Week 3 of summer camps begins Monday, June 24th. Morning and afternoon camps for ages 5 to 17 include art, ceramics, paint, and clay. For more information on summer camp programs, visit canearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. The Cookout Summer Shootout Series is racing ahead at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The 10-race series night number 4 is on Tuesday, June 25th. Visit charlottemotorspeedway.com for tickets, details, and information. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
It's About Town with Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
And we're back. Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam here, and I'm having a lot of fun today talking about the Cornelius Youth Orchestra and the great things happening with arts in the town of Cornelius. I mean, it's an incredible experience. And speaking of which, we got a big event. I don't want to hold that at bay here any longer. I've been saving it up for this last segment, but this Saturday night at the Bailey Road Park Band Shell, you will be hearing the Charlotte Symphony Orchestra play our patriotic presentation with great fireworks afterwards. The gates open at Bailey Road Park at 6 p.m. You'll hear a great performer, Rocky Lynn, beginning right after that in and around 6:30 or so. And then after that, there'll be a short break, and then you may hear a little brass going off at the tent of the Cornelius Youth Orchestra. So I think they'll be able to be heard. Don't you think, Alex?
I think so.
I think they'll be able to be heard. 10,000 people listening to you at one time. That may be your biggest opportunity to present yourself.
That is a pretty big audience.
Once I get an opportunity to get on stage, we'll be talking about you. You can rest assured of that.
Good.
So anyway, it's going to be a great night, a great event, and come on out. The symphony starts probably in the 8:15 time frame, which will take us up to dusk or nearly dark when you'll see these fireworks. And this will be one of the best fireworks displays that you will ever see anywhere. We're very proud of it. It's not cheap, but it's an awesome experience to actually be there and hear the patriotic music going off behind us. So great opportunity this Saturday as arts continues to grow in our community. So we're traveling into the future.
Yeah.
You guys have come a long way. You talked about coming back out of COVID with 25 students versus the opportunities you have now with how many students?
We this past season we had 148, but this coming season it looks like we're going to exceed 200.
Oh wow, that is
Just in
quite
about the span of 2 years.
that is just quick growth.
Yep.
It really is. So where are we going with this thing? I mean, there's great opportunities. Your meeting place, which happens to be at the town facilities that are part of Bailey Road Middle. So where are we going? When are you going to outgrow it? I don't know that you will, but
Yeah,
I think you will.
Well, we probably will. That's actually one of the things we're trying to figure out is scheduling and the logistics in regard to space. As we start large ensembles, there's only so many large rooms out there, and so we're working on that problem. But for us, the future is all about developing pathways of advancement, and that starts with our musical pathways initiative. That was something new that we just started this spring. And it brought our artistic faculty, again, primarily musicians from the Charlotte Symphony Orchestra, to elementary schools in the Lake Norman region. And we're so happy we're able to present to 4,000 elementary students here in the region. We're looking to increase that. The only reason why we did not have those numbers larger is just scheduling. We just there's a limited amount of time. But as we plan into the coming years, we're definitely going to be exceeding that number. But our goal is to provide this opportunity for kids at the elementary age level, get them going, to provide rungs in the ladder of that educational development all the way to college. We want to create a direct pipeline for students. And there are so many opportunities in college when it comes to either pursuing music as a career or for your livelihood, or doing it to enrich your life, maybe as a minor, or using it for scholarship opportunities. There's a lot of scholarship funds. It looks great on college applications. And also growing and developing our audience of artists as we move into the future. Who are the ticket purchasers? Who are the people in the audience? Those primarily people who have had a touch point with music. And so we're growing our own audience starting in elementary school. And we also are growing our own musicians too. So that's what the future looks like for us. Now, how we accomplish that is going to be a step-by-step series of program additions as we go. As I mentioned, we're starting 4 new programs this fall. We've now have programs for percussion, we have programs for strings, we have programs for winds, and we have programs for brass. And so now it's just a matter of filling those out and continuing to expand what we offer to the community. We're looking forward to what we do in the future being organic growth when it comes to participation in our programs and just making it more accessible too. Again, the component of support is really, really critical. If people want to make a difference, this is one of the best ways you can do it. You can invest your dollars into education, and you can come to a concert and see the difference that it makes. One of our biggest supporters, every single concert is there and has been able to watch these kids that their support has really made this all possible and go from just sitting on stage for the first time and making a sound to being confident musicians and the impact that makes in their lives. So for us, that's what it's all about. And we're excited to see this grow and develop. And obviously there's the organizational component behind it all, but that's all boring. But if you want to support what we do, we welcome that. We encourage supporters to come check us out. You can visit our website, www.corneliusyouthorchestras.com.
That is just awesome. And certainly go to these concerts, support the kids. You'll be amazed with what they do.
That's right.
They sound remarkably good.
Yes.
They really do. I can remember growing up in elementary school listening to our strings program, and it was painful at times. It really was. But I assure you that these kids are good.
That's right.
I mean, it's not the Charlotte Symphony, but it is way closer to it than anything I've heard.
It's the educational pathway directly to that, right? So, as a credit to our teachers, they prepare the kids. They're obviously the beginners play beginner music, but they sound great playing their beginner music. And yes, they're going to make mistakes. The chiefest of those is me. I'll be on stage and I'll make a mistake for sure. But yes, our kids, we're so proud of what they're able to accomplish. And again, a credit to their teachers and our faculty like Alex, who can work with them and get their sound to develop the way that is truly impressive.
Yeah. So what do you got coming up? What's coming up on some of your schedule?
Come check us out this Saturday, Symphony in the Park. It's going to be awesome. And we're going to have a tent there. So not only will you be able to come and hear our brass ensemble play, which will be fantastic, we're actually going to have some of our faculty playing with them too. So that's going to be fun. But our tent will be there. So we want to meet you. Come and say hello. We're going to have information about programs, and come meet us face to face. We'll talk to you, and we'll have a good time. We're going to be performing there. Actually, just this past week, we've been doing a big component of what we do is community outreach. We believe in nurturing the whole of the student and not just simply teaching them how to play notes on a page. So actually, our students were at the name of the campus is blanking right now, but we were actually at a facility that provides services for children with Down syndrome, and we were providing music education for them and doing some interactive musical experiences through our programs outreach coordinator. There, we'll be doing our big summer festival, which is also brand new, the Carolina Youth Orchestra Summer Festival. We're partnering with some awesome youth orchestras in the area, the Charlotte Symphony Youth Orchestra, the Youth Orchestra of Charlotte, Western Piedmont Youth Orchestra, Salisbury Youth Symphony, to put together a fantastic festival for kids. So, and that's going to have public concerts at Davidson College. So if you want August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, if you want, check out that information there. And then our season starts full swing September 1st. So check out our website. We're going to have concerts up, and there's normally 1 or 2 concerts a month. So we'll have all that information there.
Yeah, these guys are the Energizer Bunny for sure. So, there's always something going on with the Cornelius Youth Orchestra.
That is correct.
Plenty of opportunities to hear them as they gear up for their new season starting in September. You won't be it won't be a slack performance schedule, I'm sure.
Actually, one of the things I'm most excited about, I'm glad you brought this up, is as I'm recruiting this year, I'm calling this coming season the year of the college. And the reason why is because we will be performing side by side with local colleges this season. So our first concert is actually going to be a side by side performance with UNC Charlotte's Orchestra and Queen's University. And then also we'll be doing a side by side performance with Davidson College Symphony Orchestra in February. So there's going to be some really great opportunities for our kids, again, Lake Norman youth, to go and actually experience education from some of these colleges. Their faculty, they'll be able to participate in rehearsal sectionals, master classes from their faculty, and then have this experience of experiencing life on a college campus. Like, what is this like? Where do we go? What is this experience? And so we're happy to provide that opportunity for our kids.
Wow, that is super. I might have been a professional musician and all these fun things been available when I was coming along.
That's right.
My mother wasn't going to allow that. So anyway, so I'm a banker, but I have kept my music career alive as well. So
well, and that's the story of it all, right?
Exactly.
Music is a part of all of our lives, whether you pursue it as a career or it's just something that enriches your life and enriches those who hear it. It's an important part of what we do.
It really is, and it's still my. I get a thrill at it. I really do, and to promote these videos that my sidekick over at Mount Zion Church and I produce every week, and see the responses to it really warms your heart. I don't do.
I always enjoy watching them. Yeah.
Well, thank you. I don't do it for applause and recognition, but just fun.
That's just a benefit.
Absolutely. So a great day today with About Town with the Cornelius Youth Orchestra. A lot of great things going on with the arts in the town of Cornelius to complement the wonderful things that are moving forward with the Kane Center. Check out their new season, by the way. They've announced it now, and you can buy tickets. kanearts.org. Go check that out, and keep your eyes on this Cornelius Youth Orchestra. Great things to come. Thank you, Eric Boruff and Alex Wilborn, for being part of this great show today. See you next time. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Serving you better than ever before. 1059 100.7 WSIC.